What is up, RZ Jones 18 fans? Welcome to what I did not expect to be one of the biggest hauls of the year. We've got a lot here to discuss. Um, there's a lot here. Now, I'm going to mention right off the bat, vast majority of this is all Superman related again. I did a big pre-order from McFarlane on two things, and I also did a purchase from Big Bad Toy Store through Mezco, and we'll get all of those here in a little bit. But I want to kind of start the journey where I started my journey, which was a couple of days ago. I got a figure I pre-ordered back in May, and it is a McFarlane Elite Edition figure. And I pre-ordered this figure back in May when this game was coming out. At the time, we didn't know who was really going to get the figure for the character from the game, and I really wanted a figure of him to be displayed in my collection. Doom the Dark Ages is one of my favorite games of the year, and as soon as I saw McFarlane put up the pre-order for this figure, I hopped on it so quick, and I got it. But here's the box. This is a chunky box for a chunky figure, but wait till you see. I got a rarity in mind. So you got the Doomslayer on both sides. You got the great artwork from the collector's edition of the game. This was made in coordination with id and Bethesda. I love the box. I pre-ordered this on May 15th when the figure went up for pre-order, and it showed up in August like it said it would. So the pre-orders, this is my first time pre-ordering a figure and waiting for it to get here. I've never done that before with a figure before. This is new to me. And so I pre-ordered this guy right here, and I already have him out of the box, as you can clearly see. I have his two extra hands in here still because I don't really display him with the Thunder Punch or just the Calm Hand. Very Masters. But I have him right here. And so here is the McFarlane Doom the Dark Ages Elite Edition Slayer figure, and I really like this figure. I want to love this figure, but unfortunately, I don't love it. I like it a lot. I think it represents the game very well. He comes with the flail. He comes with the goal launcher for the grenades. You've got his shield, which we'll talk about, and he comes with the super shotgun, and he also comes with the pulverizer, which is here in his hand. The detail on all of these pieces is truly remarkable. Now, I know there are versions of this figure out there where there's no blood on the skull. I got the version with the blood on the skull, which is really cool. I like that detail a lot. And again, I think this figure looks terrific, but I have to talk about it. So I like the fact that most, like the flail and some of the chains on him are actual metal chains, which is really cool. This guy's really heavy, and I really like that. The shotgun's nicely painted. Everything on this thing is beautiful. It does not articulate, which when we get to another McFarlane figure later, I'm wondering why, because they can do all the extra stuff with that figure compared to this one. Now, granted, in universe, the most he moves is the most he moves, and that kind of sits with how the figure sits. Also, he's got the really nice faux fur cape on the back, which I really enjoy. But I got my shield saw. Can you guys see anything? My sigil is about 2 centimeters to the left. It's not in the middle. And I was going to contact McFarlane about it, and when I did, unfortunately, I can't get a replacement shield, which is a bummer. And that's gonna bother the ever-living crap out of me for the time being. Well, for the time being, the figures in my collection, which it will be. And it's a rare piece from what I've gathered, not very many people have had this paint issue on the shield. I've heard about paint issues on him, but not the shield. And so I'm not that bothered or upset by it. It sucks, but I'm not gonna bruise my hand about it. Like, it happens. I mean, it's gonna happen. But it fits very well in the hand, and he is standing on my TV stand currently down in the down in the gaming and slash family room right now, outside of the toy room. And so I have him next to a banner I got from id for Doom, and I really, 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 really love this game. And it's my favorite first-person shooter currently of the year. I don't think anything is going to top it as an experience for me. This is my favorite shooter of the year, is Doom. And I'm so happy to have the Doom Slayer in some way, shape, and form. I had the Eternal figure forever ago, and I liked it, don't get me wrong, another McFarlane figure. But I think this represents Doom so much nicer on the shelf with the banner I have for the character. And again, the detail and the paint is just immaculate on this figure. I'm never gonna diss McFarlane on paint and detail, because McFarlane's always paint and detail first. In some occasions, he's also articulation. That just depends. Like his multiverse figures for DC, paint, articulation, detail is all there. This was definitely a piece, not a figure. This is more of a piece to be on your display, and that's why I have it displayed on my collection. But it's not one of my favorites of the year, unfortunately. I really thought it was going to be. I know they have the Atlan coming out here in a couple of weeks. I haven't decided on whether or not I'm going to get that. I would love to get a demon to put with him from the game. I think either an imp or a wraith, I think, would be pretty cool, because the wraith can come with a stand for him to stand on with the shoulder pauldrons coming over. I think look pretty cool. But after he showed up, I didn't do a lot of figure buying at the time, and then I was just moseying on Big Bad, and every time I see this set, this was the next thing. So I pre-ordered two things that night. I pre-ordered one thing from McFarlane and one thing from Big Bad. And the Big Bad order came first, and then McFarlane came a couple days later after that. And as you know, Superman is my movie of the year. I adore this movie. I've seen it countless times, and I will continue to watch it countless times. It's my favorite film of the year, and I have it on digital now. I saw it 5 times in the movie theater, and it's my favorite movie of the year. But I have the 6-inch, the 7-inch McFarlane figures. I wanted something to be put on my kiosk shelf that I have right next to the TV area over here. And one thing has stood out to me constantly on Big Bad Toy Store. It is a Mezco product, but it's not a Mezco 1/6 scale, 1/12 collectible figure. I've never done the 5-point POA sets from Mezco at all. They just never really cantered to me, but I've been in a real Superman mood, and this was on sale. It was originally $80, and I got it for $60, so I feel like I got a better deal on it when I did. And it is the Mezco 5 points Superman, the Mechanical Monsters 1941 box set. So I'm a big fan of the Fleischer cartoon, and this is also one of my favorite episodes of the cartoon. Now, as we go on this haul, I'm going to continue to say I either really enjoy what I have here, I really like it, or I love it. I really enjoy Doom. I like this box set. I think it is a very neat, niche box set for hardcore Superman fans to go with your collection, and that's what it is for me. It goes on the display next to my Lego 1999 Batmobile, And that's where I wanted it to stay because it fits in that era of older DC, with this being from 41, that being from 89. This pack comes with 4 figures. It comes with Robot number 5, Superman, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, telephone booth, and a diorama display based on the episode of the bank heist for all the gold. And when you flip it around, it's the evil scientist's laboratory. Now, you can also make it look like the Robot number 5 can fly, which I do not have displayed, but I also have the telephone booth display where if you put the Clark and Superman figure in, you can rotate it. That's everything that comes in the box. So here is, I brought 2 figures over from the display. So here is Robot number 5. Again, super simple. There are 5 points of articulation, so arms, head, and legs. Now with this one, you get more options of like part swappage. So, and again, being a Masters fan, that is something I'm actively used to, of swapping parts out, giving new parts, that kind of stuff. So that's all new, not new to me. So that's fine. And I really like this. This is a fun little set. It comes with a little piece of gold you can put in the back of his box if you want to. And I think the detail on the robot's really nice. But the other thing I brought over was, if we're going to talk about it, we might as well bring over Superman. So these are 4 inches tall figures. I have a Spin Master Batman who's about 4.25 inches tall, and they're about the same scale. When you put them next to a McFarlane Superpowers figure, they're definitely taller, obviously, because they go more with that 5-inch line. This is more along the 3.75 line. So it's like, think of like an old like Kenner or like G.I. Joe figure. That's what they kind of look like. But the detail is very nice. I think the paint came out looking great on the face, on the sculpt of the shield. But again, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You get 5 points of articulation. With Superman, you get 2 extra arms to go with them. But yeah, I think it's good. It definitely gave me my niche of having a play set and a diorama display piece for Superman in the collection. So then, before this showed up, I went to Ollie's with my mom. Actually, before both of you showed up, I didn't need out of order. And I bought a couple of Nerf blasters. I don't think they're just there. They're cool. But during that week, the day after we went to Ollie's, I got really sick. I had colitis. I'm doing better now. Today is the first day where I'm actually feeling like me. And that's why I decided to go ahead and do the video. And while we were at Ollie's that day, before everything went to crap, no pun intended, unfortunately, with my circumstance, as you know, Ollie's has deals, and they have really good deals sometimes when they want to. And first off, if you are an X-Men Marvel Legends fan, they had the 3-pack of Gambit, Banshee, and Psylocke for $20 at Ollie's. So if you're looking for any X-Men figures, go there. They have the Eternals and the Black Panther stuff and whatever, but I'm not a big Marvel Legends collector anymore. I have a couple in my collection, but that's it. However, I'm also not a big collector into roleplay items. I have the Morpher from Power Rangers. I have some Nerf blasters, but I don't have any role-playing, you know, helmets or whatever. Until, for $40, my mom convinced me it was a really good deal, and I agree. I got the 1-to-1 scale Star-Lord helmet. Now, that's all it does. Like, and you can dim the lights and make different noises every time you turn the lights on. And it's really cool. I love this thing. It's displayed. I don't wear it constantly. It fits okay on the big old noggin. Nothing crazy. It's cool. Like, it's nice to have a piece of James Gunn Marvel memorabilia in the collection, and that being this. That being said, Star-Lord's not my favorite character from Guardians. I wish they put stuff out for maybe Rocket or Drax or something, but I get it. It's the Star-Lord helmet. You want to be able to look like Star-Lord. So I get that part. It's really nicely detailed. The weathering on it looks really good. The LEDs are nice inside the eyes. Excuse me. But yeah, it looks good, and I've worn it a couple of times. It's not super comfy, but it's a nice display piece for the shelf. So that's what I do. So from there, after Mezco came from Big Bad, my other big McFarlane order came in. Now, again, Superman related. This is now based on the 2025 movie. They also do the Superpowers line, the reimagined Superpowers line for DC. And I want to give this as the example. So in the last haul video, you guys saw these two, the Spin Masters Engineer and Guy Gardner from Superman, and I talked about it there, and I will still contend these figures are not good. I think these are mediocre at best. They're not even on my display anymore. They are literally just chilling on the floor, and that's how much I do not like them. However, there is a line of figures for Superman that I wanted for the display purpose, and I got them. That would be, I have the entirety of the Superpowers line from Superman. I have every single figure. I have two of the same figure, but one came in the so all these are gold label. These are the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label figures. So I have the 5-pack from McFarlane. I have the Forces of Solitude with Robot number 4. And I also have the T-Craft with Mr. Terrific. So let me go ahead and get him out here. But here is the T-Craft. You can rotate the thrusters here at the bottom. So here's my thing. They have a 5-pack out with Mr. Terrific. I understand putting a Mr. Terrific figure with the T-Craft. However, this could have been a shot to do a really random exclusive this vehicle with a character that has more screen time with this vehicle, more so than Mr. Terrific does, and that's Lois. I really wish this came with a Lois Lane. I think it was a missed opportunity to not do a Lois Lane figure in any scale, let alone I think she would have fit really well in this line. They've already done females before, and, you know, I really wish we could have got a Lois Lane with the T-Craft, and the 5-pack could have been where you got Mr. Terrific if you wanted to do it that way. You can also buy them individually. But I went ahead and did the 5-pack version. And the figures are exactly the same. Like, they don't change. Like, the Terrific figure in my hand is the exact same one on the blister card. Like, it doesn't change. So I really wish they would have taken this opportunity to give us a figure of a character that fits into Superman's toy aesthetics, I guess. I would have really liked the Lois Lane figure. But beside the point, we do get good old Eggy Atheki as Mr. Terrific, and these figures are cool. These are really cool figures. I'm glad I have two for out-of-box reasons, because these are definitely figures that I prefer being on card. And the only reason he's not on card is because he came with the T-Craft, and you can open up the front, and there are two clips inside, those two clear clips right there, that once you stick them in, you can guide his legs, and they clip in, and boom, Mr. Terrific is now in T-Craft, and that's how I displayed it on my shelf, because I already have him up on the wall. And then the other thing I got is the Forces of Solitude, which is right here. And so, out of the box, this thing is cool. I think it's cool because of, you know, I have a Forces of Solitude. That's a really cool thing to have in your collection. And I really like the fact that I have a Fortress now in it. But it's just 3 pieces of cardboard with 2 pieces of clear plastic. I haven't heard that before. Of clear plastic holding the thing in place with extra bits and bobs and the seat. The main reason I want to make sure I got this version was to get Robot. I can say his name now. It's been almost a month. To get Gary, I want to make sure I got Gary, and I got Gary, and I now have 2 versions of one of my favorite characters in the entire movie in my collection, which I also very much enjoy. But the fortress is cool. I think it's a nice way to have the fortress as a play set, and I wish they put out more robots as individually carded figures to give more, like, I wish there was a robot stations where you could like plug them in for charging and that kind of stuff. But again, 3D print people are probably going crazy with this and adding more to the playset. For what it's worth, everything combined was $120. And so I think I got my money's worth out of just having the figures in the vehicle, the playsets on display, but it's cool. Now, the other reason I wanted this set was the 5-pack that it came with 5 figures on card. And that would be Mr. Terrific, who I'm keeping on card. These are all staying on card. They're on the wall. But I have Mr. Terrific. I have my second Metamorpho now in the collection. And I like how subtle the detail is on this figure. And it looks really nice. We're going to save him for last. We'll save him for second for last. So I finally have a proper Guy Gardner Green Lantern in the collection because of this 5-pack, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted it. And he's never coming off the card, but I have Guy Gardner now in the collection properly. I can count that. So now we're going to get to my favorite. Actually, no, Terrific's my favorite. My second favorite's the other one, and then we'll get to my least favorite. My second favorite of the set is obviously my boy in blue, Superman. I think this looks terrific. It looks a little bit like David, but not a lot. But again, the figure looks really nice on card, and that's how it's going to stay. So here's my least favorite figure of the bunch. Now, from what I gather, this is pretty much everybody's least favorite figure from this wave of superpower figures, and I get it. It doesn't really give the vibe of the character from the movie, and that'd be Ultraman. I think this is the cleanest I've ever seen this suit, because there's no detail, there's no ridging on it or anything. Now, granted, it's a superpowers figure; it's not supposed to look incredibly detailed. And I like him, but I also don't all at the same time. It's not giving the correct vibe, and so I don't know where I'm going with this. He's just plain. There's like nothing to him, and that's what I think bothers me the most. Also, in this line, we have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, do we have a Luthor? We have a Brainiac. I thought we did. We have a Lobo. Do we not have a Luthor? I thought we did. Maybe Brainiac's the villain for superpowers. Huh. I really thought we had a Luthor. I wish we would have got a Luthor in this wave. I wish we would have got the Engineer, Hawk Girl. Why no love for the Hawk Girl character or the Engineer at all in any of these figure lines? I mean, Spin Master got both of them, but I wish McFarlane would have done more with both these characters. I wish we got a theatrical version of the Engineer. I wish we would have got a theatrical version of Hawk Girl. Now, is there any occasion down the line that they put out those figures? For sure. But in the hype of the film, you only put out the guys. We don't get the girls at all. And we have the kaiju, for crying out loud. I really wish we would have gotten the Engineer and Hawk Girl. I really do. Because the Justice Gang doesn't feel complete. And Luthor's team doesn't feel complete because the Engineer is an integral part to his story. As much as Hawk Girl doesn't have a lot of screen time, but I wish you would have got an actual figure. Spin Master aside, if I see the Spin Master one, obviously I would get it just to see how it is. But she's the hardest one to find of the bunch, and I just don't have a reason to get it. So we go from that to Also, the day that I got this and the helmet and the Nerf blasters, I also got Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beasts. He's not down here. I'm just not realizing that. But I got 102 Studio Series Prime, and again, he's good. MP44 Shattered Glass is my favorite Prime figure I own. I really thought 102 would be one of those figures, but that head sculpt is way too small. Transformation's fine, truck mode's atrocious. Robot mode looks great, but MP44 is my preferred Prime. He's just a good little Twitch bot where I can just play with him whenever I want. But now we go to today. So I wasn't planning on buying anything today. I was fully intent of just coming home, playing Gears of War Reloaded on PlayStation, and going for a bike test ride with my helmet, but unfortunately it rigged. So I didn't get to do any of that. However, my mom needed to go to Walmart to pick up some stuff. And when you go to a place with toys, you don't not go and look at said toys. So obviously we had a new collector area, and that's where I found two of my pieces, and I found one in the NECA section. We'll save the two pieces for from the collector section, and we'll do NECA first. So I mentioned Gears of War, and I got this game because I had a Gears of War fix earlier at the end of the year last year, and one of those games was Warhammer Space Marine 2, which I love. I need to go back and play, and I did not know. I mean, I knew McFarlane Toys. There's a lot of McFarlane here. I knew McFarlane did Warhammer figures. I didn't know they did figures for the game. And so we were over in the NECA section, and I come across a Warhammer figure. And I'm like, this is probably a $50 figure. I'm not going to get it. This thing was freaking $30, which is a steal in my opinion. And so I got the Platinum Series Ultramarines Lieutenant Titus from Space Marine 2. And I can't describe it, but this thing is heavy. I've taken it out of the box already, and it's really cool. When you look at the head sculpt on the back of the box for the game, compared to the figure head that I unfortunately see, it does not look good at all. So I'm going to have him displayed with the helmet. I'm probably going to have these two displayed together, the Doomslayer and him together next to the TV because they're game figures. Will he stay in the box? I haven't decided yet. I really like the box, and I like the way everything's nicely displayed. So there's a good possibility he could stay in the box. I might also wait and see how he looks on the new cases I'm getting next week. So we'll wait and see. But I saved the best for last. I haven't even opened these yet, and I know I'm going to. So back in... Good Lord, when did these go for pre-order? Oh, I've had them pre-order. I had them pre-order back in Ohio. I've had them on BBTS pre-order for months. And I finally canceled because they were supposed to come out at the end of this month, going in September. Now they're in stock. Go figure. And I really, 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 really wanted the first 4 figures from this wave to kind of get my toes into to see if I like this or not. And I wanted to make sure I had the main hero and the main villain from this set to see how I like them or not. And then that will lead me to getting other figures like a Chitara or a Tigra or a Panthro or Battle Cat Man. Who am I talking about? Well, obviously in that I kind of gave it away. I got the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover Lion-O, but the big one, no pun intended for me, is I got the Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover Skell-Ra. So I got both Mumra and Lion-O today from Walmart, and it was just nice seeing new motu on the pegs. Even if it's not motu characters, it's new motu on the pegs. What I collect is now on Mattel Creations, so I'm never going to see it on the pegs again. So it's nice seeing motu figures on the display besides Masterverse. And they did have the King Randor, and they had Terror Claw Skeletor, but I'm not collecting Masterverse at the moment. And so I figured we'd end this video, and for the next 15 minutes, sorry Gary, you guys are going to get my live reaction to me opening both Lion-O and Skell-Ra on camera together. We're going to open them together, and you're going to get my first impressions of changing them out to be Lion-O, changing them out to be Mumm-Ra. I figured this would be a fun thing to do for the end of the video, because this will probably be the last haul for a little bit. I did not realize how much I bought in August, but I bought a lot in August. I'm getting new cases next week, and they're going to be displayed here in the room. Some will be out there, but I'm getting new stuff to put in more stuff. My next thing I'll probably end up buying, I've already told myself I just got to save the money up for it, is the Batman hot toy from Big Bad. And that'll probably be the next big purchase that I make. So that probably won't be till probably late October or late September, early October. Probably won't be when I get him, because I really want that figure to go with my Superman hot toy at the end of the year. And so, but enough talking. We're going to save Skell-Ra for last. We're going to do Lion-O first. So I've never done this before. I've never opened a figure live on, well, not live, but part of the video. But I wanted you guys to get my first reaction of the figure, and we got our first mini comic for this new era of motu crossovers. Third Eternia. I'm going to save that for myself. I'm going to read that here in a little bit. It'll go with my collection of figures. So right off the bat, we've got the proper Lion-O hair, which is such a weird accessory to have. All right, he's escaped his blister. First impression out of the box. So I do not have the only cartoon figure I have right now based on the male body, I believe, is just I think, well, no, I have the Creations exclusive Voltac, but like main human body mold, I have Bo. So I know they are using the main, I think these are taller than Cartoon Collection. I could be wrong, but you get his, this is what I wish they would have done with turtles, because like I can get a turtle and kind of show my example of what I mean. Sword of Omens. Oh, that's so cool. It's a little bent, but it's not crazy. I think the Purling Silver was a great choice. I wish there was more paint on the hilt. I like the fact that one side is the Thundercat logo and the one's the all-seeing eye for the Sword of Omens. I thought that was pretty cool. But now all we have left to do is get out. I have one major complaint, and it was a complaint that Pixel Dan had, and I fully concur with this complaint. Here is the Thundercat belt to replace the figure with. Clamshell gone. So here is, this is much like my first impression video of getting Motu Origins figures. It's really exciting. So here we go. My first impression of Motu Lion-O. It's an Origins figure. I mean, that's for sure. I do not like the claw shield at all. Now seeing it in person, it's not as bad as it looked in the video, but it's not great. As you can see, he's got like the furry boots, and he's got this random arm brace on his side. He's got the armor, the armor's cool. And then he's got my favorite piece of armor is the Eternia head. I really hope that this line includes that Eternia goddess from Eternia's comic book. I really hope that that's where they find a way to connect her into this being part, like all cat, third Eternia. That would be incredible if that was the case. So, whoa. Okay. So, you literally just pop the hair off, and there is a... That's interesting. There's a giant gap in the back of his head. There's bald Lion-O, which is interesting. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. I like the way the there's a little bit of orange on it, but it's not too bad. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and pause real quick. I'm gonna build him into Lion-O, and I'll be... All right, and we're back. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but now, after everything is all put together, he's all good. Here is your proper Lion-O figure, and that was a process. I'm going to tell you right now, because so the instruction sheet shows you at what points to move things. Now, the one thing it does not show, which is really interesting, is the feet. You have to switch the feet out. The feet go into these new boots, which this is the first for motu, for the Origins line, and that, you know, these are... It's a whole new boot sculpt to make them look more like the Thundercats from the cartoon. This is how he's going to be displayed. This looks so nice. I'm actually really happy with this. I was nervous going into this, I'm not going to lie. The Pixel Dan video did not really give me any hope. I was just nervous going into it. The claw shield is not good. This is not good. So it gives you the little peg right here at the back, and you got this jutting port right here on the side of his belt. And the only way to do it is to put it on his back like that. And like, it looks fine from certain angles, but from like the back, it's just a fist popping out from his back. So like, if you have it like displayed like this, where he's like standing, then it'd be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and go get a Origins figure real quick and bow to kind of see like where we are scale wise. So I just gotta step back here. Let's see who's gonna be my bow, and I'll use this one. So, and I'll do the same thing for Skeletor. Skell-Ra is so much bigger. So here is your basic your 5-inch scale Origin with the Advarian, and then this is your cartoon collection figure with Bo. So him and Bo are basically about the same height. However, it does look like the arms are a new mold. The legs are a new mold. The hands are... I think these are completely new molds. Like, completely new molds. Which is fascinating. So, again, this is why I want to do this, because the turtles were going to be completely unique all themselves because they're Ninja Turtles. I wanted to see this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I haven't done this yet with Bo. But here is like, this is your body, this is your basic body structure for a cartoon collection figure, right? So let me go ahead and rip off the Lion-O head real quick. Because, so in total, you get the 2 hands, the 2 sets of hair, so everything counts as a piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You get 14 pieces with this guy all together between the mixing and matching stuff. Now, the 15th piece is a secret one. You have to look. So his shirt is also removable. So you can also look at this. I was right. They're completely different. The molds are completely different. This one's a lot more lankier. I am so curious. Will the He-Man for the Thundercats stuff use this mold? Damn, I'm not gonna buy another He-Man just to figure out the difference. Because that's really fascinating. Like, they completely retooled a new body and everything. So, I judging by that, I am guessing they listened to the complaints about the Ninja Turtles and that we wish that the turtles were part of their sculpt and you couldn't have to remove them to be the weird shield thing. But the cartoon collection mold is its own mold. And I know the 2000X figures are going to be the same way, and that they're their own unique mold compared to the old cartoon. So that makes sense in that these are their own thing. But it's just interesting. Because, I know... So, Super 7... Does Super 7 still have the license to Thundercats still? Or is that no longer a thing? That I don't know either. Let me go ahead and get the sword in his hand. Will the hands let you? Okay, so this hand's got the vertical joint. You have to cheat. Yeah, you have to cheat it a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that he has a hand that does the switch thing. Okay, if you hold it So unfortunately, you really can't do the all-seeing pose of him looking through the sword. However, you can get him into a pretty good pose, lofting the sword and, get a decent pose out of him. He looks great. He looks really good. My biggest issue is the claw shield. I wish they could have done the claw shield in a different way, to be honest. I wish the claw shield was the open hand on the set, and that he came with another hand to hold it, to do the all-seeing thing. But I have to tell you, as a casual Thundercats person, just from one figure, I am definitely going to get the rest of the Thundercats. That's for sure. I'm definitely going to get Chitara, Tigra, Panthro. I'm also going to get Battle Cat and Panthro Man, for sure. Because those are unique to this subsection of Masters. But yeah, victory over here, right here, with good old Lion-O. So we're going to set Lion-O aside. And again, I still have these two as reference for Skell-Ra, who we're going to open next. So again, box art. Now, what's interesting is that He-Man comes with the mini comic. I think the only characters that come with mini comics, the only characters that come with the mini comic are Chitara, Battle Cat Man, and Lion-O. So they're the only ones that come with it. Skell-Ra comes with art cards, which I'm of one of two minds when it comes to that. I wish, don't get me wrong, every figure in every wave comes with the same comic. So it's not like I'm not oh no, I'm not going to have the comic anymore. I'm going to have it two more times. So I'm getting Chitara and Battle Cat Man. I'm going to have more copies of the comic book. It's just I'm not used to the box art for this is gorgeous. It's so good. And also it's unpunched, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, the box art on the back is just so stinking good looking. Wow, he's big. So you get the I think that's the Mumra skirt piece. You get the Mumra head. Oh, I don't know why you would do that to that. The sword looks incredible. Oh, and the cape's separate. That's cool. And the cape's attached to the cards. Those cards are huge. Wowie zowie. Okay. So, okay, that's not super hard to remove. I hate these new clear twist ties. This is a really cool thing to do. I haven't never done this before. I'm probably doing this with other future motu figures. Because I'm letting you guys know right now, I am going to get the Transformer ones. Simply because I'm too freaking curious. So I am going to get both Megatron and Bumblebee. Because I want to see, like, are those on Cartoon Collection bodies? Are those on the new Thundercat bodies? Are these on basic Origins bodies? This sword is sick. That is sick. That is so cool. And then we got the main beefy boy himself. Is the jaw? No. Oh, that's a bummer. You give this Skeletor that kind of head, and you don't let the jaw be articulated. That's a real bummer, in my opinion. So it looks like on him, the only thing that's keeping him in place are the twist ties down here at the legs. So that's pretty good. Now, I don't think any other figure in Turtles of Grayskull, in Motu, Origin in general, use this body at all. So I think this figure is wholly unique to himself, which is pretty cool. He is so big. Okay, and then these are also held down by them. So we need to do that. I do not want to break pegs. There we go. Okay, so one side is purple for Skeletor and one side is red for Mumra. Okay. And then so you get the art cards. Oh, no way. The art cards come together and they form one giant picture on the back. That's pretty cool. These are thick cardboard. So it's basically, so Mumra is exclusive to him, but the Skeletor one's basically the one in the back of the box. So like that's nothing all impressive. The head sculpts on these look really good. I love the Mumra head. I wish the Skeletor one wasn't screaming, but it looks like it's screaming here on the back. I wish the teeth were painted. Like, that would have been cool. This looks like a Masterverse figure, just bigger. Like, this looks like a Masterverse scale figure. I have Trapjaw, but he's in the box. Otherwise, I could use him as the example for the Masterverse scale size. But he's big. He's significantly bigger. You get your instructions. So, yeah, the only things that are changing are the head, the armor, and the torso, and then the wings on the back. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward compared to Lion-O. I know Chitara and Panther are all the same way with the legs. I don't know how I feel about this leg thing because, like, say you're trying to put the foot back on, that thing breaks. That's it. Like, he doesn't have a foot anymore. Like, and that's so specific to him. That's an interesting choice. But again, I love, love, love this piece of armor right here. That is just so cool. I wonder who I'm going to give that to. Like, this is definitely going on another one of my figures. Because Lion-O's not going to use it. I'll have to think about it. But, okay, so how does this work? Okay, that works like that. So, let me get him standing up properly. So, holy moly! He's almost a head taller than Lion-O. And Lion-O is pretty tall to can be considered with already. So, I'd say he's about, 7? There's no way he's 7. Again, I have figures for comparison, so here he is next to the Doomslayer. No, he's 7 inches tall. Holy moly, he's 7 inches tall. That's crazy. Because here he is next to, like, so here's an Origins figure. And he's the shortest of the bunch. And then I'll put Cartoon next to him. Yeah, Origins definitely shortest. Then it would go Skell-Ra, then Lion-O, and then Bo. That's like the descending order. That's crazy. So this is now my tallest Origins figure. Okay. Is there any... I mean, there's gotta be... Okay. So that can be confirmed. The torso does come apart for that reason. But it feels like the arms have got to come off at that point. I know I paused for Lion-O, but there's not much going on part swappage wise with the Skell-Ra stuff here. Okay, so yeah. So the arms are removable, which is cool. So then... I really like the skull. I wondered how that would look on Skell-Ra. Ooh. I'm thinking things in my head. People fell. I'll fix that. It's not glow in the dark, but it's a different head for Skell-Ra. Maybe that's what it's going to be. Because I already have my bejeweled-eyed Skeletor from Demo Man. Yeah, that's probably going to go on Skell-Ra. That looks really dope. But enough of that. So all the armor for Skell-Ra is basically one piece, the hood and everything. So that really does limit the articulation on the head, which is a bit of a bummer. So now this goes onto the body like this. So yeah, because there's the Mumra symbols underneath it. So that goes through there. That goes on to here. There we go. So that connects to that. I wish there was more of a connection point for the Skell-Ra. I mean the Mumra armor. But that's not overtly bad. So then I'm guessing it goes red for Mumra, I'm assuming. So you can put them together. Oh, that looks pretty cool. So I'll put on the head last so that you get this arm on. This side, and then this arm gets this twist tie, which can barely go up the biceps. So I'm wondering if it's the other way around. It's not super flexible, but that doesn't feel right either. Come here. I feel like this is supposed to go over the hand, and then this part's supposed to go. So you move that up. Yeah, that makes more sense. And it's still flexible. You can still bend it. So there you go. So then all this needs now is okay. I'm gonna take the cake pieces off for a second. crush anything. Is the head on there? So it goes like that. You can still bend the elbow. Now, I think I like the yin yang thing, but it's supposed to be all red on the back of Mumra. That head looks a little too wide for me. And then you get the scimitar. I know I'm here. I'm just trying to get him together properly. That's what I feared was going to happen. Because it's a new mold, that armpit joint is not going to be the most consistent, but it's not that big of a deal. And I think we got Mumra. And get that over there. Lionel next to him. I think Mattel just did this to make Thundercats figures. That's what I'm really gathering. Because, like, there's not a whole lot to the Skell-Ra bit part of this. It's basically just a glorified headpiece and a crotch piece. And you also get the alternative head. But then you also have all this extra bits and bobs for Lion-O, and he's got like the Eternia shield. That feel like 3 of these pieces, like these 3 right here, can go on any figure and can make them an Eternian guard if you wanted to. The rest of this is clearly for Lion-O, but the rest of that can be for anybody. So here is my overall consensus with this. New bodies, very cool, very interesting. I think of the 2 of them, the size of Mumra is just crazy. I was not expecting him to be as big as he was. Lion-O, I really like. I really like this Lion-O figure. The claw shield aside, I really like this Mumra figure. This Lion-O figure. The Sword of Omen looks really good. I think the skin tone looks nice. Paint looks really good. The head sculpt looks nice. This is a really good Lion-O figure. And I've owned the Super 7 one, and I think I like this a little bit more. Mumra is interesting. Mumra looks really cool. I don't know. Do I like the Skeletor version more? No, I just gotta let this grow on me. I think the head sculpt looks really good on Mumra. They painted his teeth, which Skeletor didn't even get. The paint looks a lot better on Mumra stuff than it did on Skeletor. So, like, with Skeletor, like, I wonder if this is too big for... Yeah, this is way too big for other figures. Because, like, I would gladly put this on my Skeletor figure, but I think it's too wide. Same thing with this armor. Like, I think the armor looks really good, but again, I think it's way too wide for the Skeletor figure. But that's where part swapping part comes in if I want to do it. Thundercats. I'm just going to straight up call this what it is. These are Thundercats Origins figures. And Chitara, Battlecat Man, Panthro, Tigra, Panther Man, and whoever else they've announced since then. You're on my radar. I will be getting you and adding you to the shelf because holy crap, they did something really cool here. But that, guys, is the haul for August. Don't expect another one of these videos for a little bit till the Batman gets here. We're going to do a full in-depth video of him again and the bat signal and everything. But yeah, like, rate, subscribe, hit the comment section below. I'm still not getting over the fact that I have 2 of the Thundercats figures now in my collection. It's crazy. I think now with Bo, Shadow Weaver, I have cartoon collection stuff in my collection now. I have Turtle stuff. I have Power Grayskull stuff. Thundercats, Origins. I've now almost hit every market for Masterverse. I haven't had my Masterverse figure. There's every piece of Masters of the Universe currently out, minus Mondo and all that kind of stuff. But like mainline stuff, I have in my collection. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like, rate, subscribe, hit the comment section below, and I will see you guys when Vengeance gets here. But until then, talk to you soon.